How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday, and today, oh man, today we're going to talk about how I got into blades. This is something that in Spanish I've already spoken about many times because I've been asked many times about it, but rarely have I talked about, just in interviews, I think, how I got into blades. And this is the reason how I got into blades, into folders. Now, yeah, this budget Wally's folder serrated this exact model. And let me tell you a story about this. Back in the day, I migrated for some time to Spain, and there I did different types of jobs. Mason, as a mason, and washing cars and whatnot. But I also got to meet a very peculiar person, Enrique, and Enrique was a historian, or is a historian, and working in the Museum of Catalonia, if I'm not mistaken. And but Enrique was also a lumberjack, and we went out to. I stayed with him and his wife for some time, and we went out to his cabin out in the Pyrenees, the Pyrenees, I believe it's in English. A very small town conformed of, you can barely call it a town. I don't know if it was 6 or 8 houses deep in the mountains, and it was amazing. It was a house made up of huge stones and very, very old. A fantastic cabin. And if I wanted to shower, I would have to shower beside the river with frozen water, which you can imagine. But Enrique taught me how to prune trees, and how to cut trees down with axes, and with what is this called? I forgot the name. This machine, this motor saw, and he taught me how to use those tools. So he would teach me how to climb in a safer way, and how to stand and look at the profile of the tree and whatnot, in which limbs to trim. So I got to learn a whole deal with Enrique, and that's where my love for axes was born. And I don't have my favorite axe at hand, but I will show it some other video ahead. It's a Grand Force Brook. But anyways, today we're talking about this little guy. And so I got into blades through axes from a lumberjack, and then I came back to Mexico, and sometime after I developed a project for Montessori education in the mountains, and which was amazing. And we were there for 12 years, 13 years, something like that. And up in the mountains, well, you get to learn how to use a machete. Of course, I kept on using my axes, and kept on having a bigger collection of axes, which I've sold already, most of them. because I just don't use them. But I got to use machetes, and those I have I still have a pretty big collection of those, which I have to see what I do with them. Most probable, I will make knives out of those machetes, because they're old machetes made out of good carbon steel. So I will probably try my after so many years, I will try my designing luck with that. And but also I started getting into fixed blades, because I worked half of my day up in the mountains. And from there on, well, I started trying out folders. Now this was not my first folder. This was like the third or fourth folder I bought from the same brand, because I knew nothing back in those days about knives. So I just bought what I liked. And this I liked very much, a black and red combination basically, and serrated, this combination of serrations and a hollow grind, which I did not pay attention to the hollow grind, just the combination of the blade. And this blade lasted me for a lot. I don't know how many years. I wouldn't know if 8 years or so, 10 years or so. Of course, when the blade, I had finished the blade and basically all the serrations, and because I used this blade for everything, I carried this blade for everything. So how come it looks like new? It looks like new, Professor? Because one of my students, one of the subscribers to my magazine, to my Blade magazine, gave it to me as a gift very recently. It was like 3 days ago that it arrived with a couple of knives, 3 knives to be exact, 3 knives that he lent me to make a first impressions video. And so and I'm very, very grateful. I did not know that this was coming. I appreciate it a whole lot, and I was so surprised and feel so grateful and just so happy that this is back in my hands. The old one, I tried to fix it for the second time. I had acid washed the blade after it was just full of scratches because of the use, and I decided to acid stonewash it, and it came out gorgeous. But then the lock bar just got stuck on the other side. As you can see, this is new, and you can see how it is. So it is a budget knife, but one that I'm very fond of. And basically, although this was like the third or even the second, I don't know, the second folder I got, fourth folder, between the second and fourth folder I had bought. The other ones from this brand, they broke almost a few months after. But this one lasted me for many years. I don't know how many years, but it lasted me for many years. And I taught myself how to sharpen with this knife, because the steel is very cheap, and you use it for one day, and you need to sharpen it at night. But I'm very fond of this knife and this folder, and I'm very grateful to not only to my magazine subscriber, but to the YouTube subscriber, and as I very fondly call some of them my students. And so this is where it all began. My love for blades began basically with this, because I became a true user with this blade. Like I said, I used it for everything. carried it every single day, and just a single thumb stud, a liner lock. I don't know if this is G10, but I just like it. I just like it, and I still do, even though I may enjoy my Chris Reeve, Hinderers, Striders, etc., my customs. When I got this 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I was just, it brought a smile to my face. And of course, I will use it, of course. And of course, at some point, perhaps, I'll acid stonewash it again, so you can see. And as a cheap budget knife, this reminds me a little bit of Chris Reeve and why I like Chris Reeve so much. And please keep in mind that I'm talking in a figurative way. This does not compare to a high-end knife, but just the single thumb stud and the action, because yeah, you can flick it open, but it's just, and that's why I think I like so much thumb studs on my knives, and I prefer thumb studs. But anyways, this is how it all began for me, with this budget, wonderful folder from this brand. And I'm doing some yard work right now, and on Sundays I've been using my GEC, this trapper, and it has just gotten a wonderful blue patina on both blades, which I really enjoy. And I just harvested this chilies from, I have a couple of plants left from this chili. The other ones died. Look at that beauty. And so I've been using this on Sundays. So I'm doing some yard work. Just harvested this very hot chili with, of course, with my Wallace. I don't know the model. I will get, perhaps I'll put it in the description later on the week, because that's at the office. And yeah, this is where it all began. What do you guys think? Where did it begin for you? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Professor EDC out.